Right guys, so what do all of these songs have in common? Well, this is what we are gonna find out today, but spoiler, almost nothing. So I'm pretty sure guys that you've heard so many people claiming you only need 4 chords to play guitar, or play these 10, 100, 1000 songs with only these 4 chords. Is that really true? Can we actually play dozens of songs with just 4 chords? Oh, and by the way, the 4 chords are always the same, right? A minor, C, G, and D if you are in G major or A minor, or A minor, F, C, G if you are in C major or A minor. Now, as I said, there are lots of people actually claiming they can play any song with 4 chords and that you can do so too. Even Ed Sheeran actually says that.
I mean, I could play you every song in the pop charts right now over 4 chords.
Now let's try to understand what's the real story behind this, what's the real truth behind that. And we're gonna do that by having a look at about 10 songs, explaining really what's the difference between all of these songs and really why you can potentially play them somehow just using the same 4 chords. Now, before we continue with this lesson, diving into all of these chord progressions and songs, I think it's the right time to introduce you to the sponsor for this video, which is TrueFire. And TrueFire, guys, is the place where you can find the largest amount of guitar courses online. They've been doing guitar courses forever. I've been learning a lot thanks to TrueFire over the years, and pretty much all of my guitar heroes actually have a guitar course or even more than one guitar course on TrueFire. So if you're serious about guitar and you want to improve this here, and you want to learn any vocabulary, any type of style on acoustic, on electric guitar, I'm sure that you can find a course for you with some of the best instructors on the planet on TrueFire. And if you decide to take any of these courses, use the promo code here on screen to get a 30% off. And by doing so, you will get your discount, and at no extra cost for you, you will actually support this channel. So if you've been learning from this channel in the past and you want to show your support, you can just click the link in the description below, get any of the TrueFire courses at 30% off, and you will also support this channel. But if you're super serious about guitar and you want to learn from different instructors and actually get more than one course, what I recommend you to do is the All Access plan, because it's more convenient and you literally have the chance to browse any course from any instructor, go from one course to another. When you finish one, you immediately start a new one, change your style, cover more styles if you like. And you can do so, again, by clicking the link in the description below, getting your discount and learning from the best instructors. Now, as I said, the 4 chords are always the same. It's just the 1, 4, 5, 6 minor in any key. So if you are in the key of C major, just to start with something simple, in C major, C is the 1 chord, F is the 4 chord, G is the 5 chord, and A minor is the 6 minor. But equally, if you are in G major, and for some reason most of the videos that I could find explaining you how to play hundreds of songs with 4 chords were in the key of G major, G is the 1 chord, then C is the 4, D is the 5, and E minor is the 6 minor chord. So the same chord progression as in C major. Now you can mix these chords in any order, but the order that most people like to have a look at least to get started, is this. Let's say we are in G. E minor, C major, and then G major, D. Okay, so the 6 minor to get started, the 4 major, then the 1 major, and the 5 major. Okay.
You name any song and I'll play it in the 4 chords. So these are the chords.
Now the truth is that all of these songs, even when they share the same chords, which means that they share the same chord degrees in the chord progression, are not really in the same key, obviously. So what you can find is that the people that actually play or sing so many songs just by using the same chords are actually transposing. They are actually transposing most of these songs into one key. The one key that they want to use to perform, which could be in our examples G major or C major. Let's have a look at a couple of chord progressions. This way we're also gonna learn another difference between all of these songs to essentially demonstrate that every song is actually different, even when you can play it with the same chord. So if we have a look at Save Tonight. Typical E minor, C, G, B. Also beginner friendly because you can just strum it as down, down, up, down, 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 for example. I don't even remember in which key it originally was. Possibly it was in C major or A minor. But as I said, if you're playing a bunch of other songs in the key of G and you want to just demonstrate that you can play even Save Tonight in the key of G major, you just transpose it in G major and it becomes... That's pretty much the same song, but you have changed the key to make it happen. Now, if we are okay playing these chords in this order, and we want to just play in the key of G major, we can also compare Save Tonight with another song, which is Zombie by the Cranberries, which goes... Now, I won't get too deep into the fact that there are a bunch of guitars in this record and that they don't just play what I just played. I just want to say that if we compare the two chord progressions, yes, they use the same chords, but the length of these chords is very different. In Save Tonight, we were playing about a couple of beats, half a bar per chord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. In Zombie, we were actually playing one full bar at a much slower tempo and with a different rhythm. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, change. 1, 2, 3, 4, change. 1, 2, etc. So the length of the chords is very different and that changes the sound of the song very much, so you can't say it's the same song. Obviously, even the rhythm involved is different. Even the tempo, so the speed of the song, is also different. And if we want to compare it to Stand By Me, for example, which is a classic, right? Which again, we can play in any key. I think the original key was in A. Kind of like this. But if we play it in G, it goes... Ba, ba, ba. Okay. Now here, it's not just the length of the chords which is different from Save Tonight, it's also a bit the order. Because you have G for 1, 2 bars, E minor also for 2 bars. But then you have C for 1 bar, D for 1 bar, and back to G for another 2 bars. So you can say this is an 8-bar chord progression. Now, we have learned that these songs seem to share the same chords, but they are more likely to be in different keys. So we are forcing them into one key to make it work, really, in the same key. But we've also learned that they are very different songs because they have different rhythms, because they have different lengths for the chords. So let's have a look at another couple of songs that are really different, although you could potentially play them with the same chords. So the first one, again, to stay on the rhythm thing, is Despacito, which is originally in B minor or D major, which is the same thing. But if you play it in E minor, it sounds like this. Etc. I don't really like it in this key, but potentially, yeah, you can play it in the key of E minor or G major, although it's originally in B minor. The rhythm is very different from the other songs we played, right? But again, yeah, you could potentially play it with the same chords. But now that we have explored the rhythm differences, what if the time signature, your 4/4 for example, is different from 4/4? So what if you play Perfect by Ed Sheeran and you play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. So 6/8 time signature, right? Now you can't say that this is the same as what we were playing in the other songs that we played so far. Think about Zombie, for example. Because this is very different. It's another time signature. Plus, I'm not even getting into too many details, like, for example, the voicings for these chords are actually different. They're supposed to be, you know, E minor played this way, C this way, G, D, da, da, something like that. Plus, it's played clearly, finger picking. Something like that, which is again very different from Save Tonight, which we were strumming and changing the chords every half bar. So there's a song by U2 called With or Without You. If we force it into G major again, it's gonna sound this way. I even struggle to recognize it because it's originally in the key of D. We have moved it to G, and we've also changed the order of the chords. And another example is Fast Car by Tracy Chapman, which is originally played capo 2, right? But if you force it into if you remove the capo essentially and you force it into G major, it's gonna sound this way. Now again, the key is different, the chord length is different, the chords are changing on the offbeat number 2. There are embellishments, it's actually finger picking, played this way, you know, but you can't really say this is the same as playing Save Tonight or whatever we were playing before. Plus, we're not even considering that many of these songs, for example Fast Car, they actually have another section, or more than one section, that include more chords or the same chords in a different order or even different lengths, variations, bridges and whatever. Sometimes you may find a 5th chord, as well as some other songs sometimes may only use 3 chords instead of 4. Now let me just give you 2 examples to finish all this, where I'm gonna show you 2 songs where you change the key from the actual record, check it out on the record. You change the order of the chords, you change the length, and you change the rhythm. So you basically get different songs, but you are still using only these 4 chords, at least in one of the sections. We don't know about the rest of the song, right? So check these 2 out. Viva la Vida by Coldplay and I'm Yours by Jason Mraz. Which really is in a different key, right? Something along those lines. So this is the real story. To recap, to summarize, we have learned that you really force many songs to happen in the same key. You are transposing most of them into the same key. You are not considering the length of the chords and the order, the rhythm, different techniques or embellishments, and you're not considering if these songs actually have other sections, which may include other chords. So how was Ed Sheeran actually singing all of these songs just by playing a few chords, the same chords every time? Well, obviously he was playing all of these songs in the same key. He was changing the length of the chords, the rhythm, and the order when it was needed. But he was also doing something else. He was also doing a vocal manipulation, where he was also changing and forcing the vocal melody to fit into the chords he was using. Quite a lot. He was making his own version on the spot for these songs, which, don't get me wrong, it's actually very difficult to do. But if you check out the full video, you'll see how he struggled to do that with songs like Beat It.
Wow. Keep it coming. I wanna show people.
Oh, okay, a difficult one.
Secret.
Beat It.
Beat It. That isn't it, is it?
No.
Because yeah, you can play around it, but sooner or later you will find a song where that doesn't really work. There are more chords, the vocal melody is too difficult. You can't really fit that into a basic 1, 4, 5, 6 minor. So, in my opinion, There is no such a thing as play hundreds of songs with the same 4 chords. It's just one of those shortcuts that may really work if you are a complete beginner, so nothing wrong with it. But if you want to get a little bit deeper, understand music, learn really how to play guitar, you'll need something more. So hopefully this video has inspired you to learn more. If you want to do so, please make sure to check out the link in the description below to get access to true fire courses. And if you have any questions, guys, let me know in the comments below.
The whole industry, 4 chords, unless you're Frank Zappa. Frank Zappa goes a bit fucking weird with it. Oh, Stevie Wonder as well. Stevie Wonder uses about 18 chords.